Have you ever been in a place where you've had a breakup in a relationship? Where you actually get to a place that you don't even know if you like the other person? Nobody? Right? See, I believe that's what Peter was like, the best he could come up with. The best he could come up with is, yes, I like you, Jesus. Whew, man. Peter, notice the very next thing. Peter was grieved. Why would he be grieved if Jesus asked him 3 questions? He's grieved because Jesus questioned his response. And the Lord said to me, Arthur, how about you? Can you say that you? And I mean, I'm sitting there, and I finally realized, listen, I can't lie to the Lord. He knows my heart, right? He knows my answer before I give it. And I blurted out under my breath, I said, Lord, I desire to love you like this. I want to love you like this. I've tried my best to love you like this. But I guess the best I can come up with is what Peter came up with. I like you. And as I said, see, I expected the Lord to just say to me, well, that's exactly what I wanted you to see, Arthur, and you better shape up. You're some big time preacher, and you're preaching all over the place, and you don't even love me. Why? Because everything I'd ever learned was, you better love God. You love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, and and thy neighbor as thyself. You better do whatever it is. And of course I tried. There were times, in a worship service I could put on the little tears. But you see, I knew that what he was asking me, I could not produce. I could not bring that up. And I fully expected him to say, Arthur, that's exactly what I wanted you to see, and you better shape up. This is exactly what I thought. But what he did say to me absolutely shocked me. It shocked me. The Spirit of God just spoke and said, Arthur, I don't care if you love me or not. I was like, what? That has to be the devil. I mean, I was like, what are you? Devil, get behind me. Because my whole upbringing, my whole church background, my whole idea of the love and loving God was about you better bring it. You better bring it. Am I preaching to anybody here today? And I mean, my thoughts were, man. I said, devil, get behind me. That must be the devil. It can't be God, because God is the one who demands that you love Him. And he said, I don't care if you love me or not. And I'm like, Lord, what are you saying? And he said to me, go there to 1 John chapter 4. And the Lord took me to 1 John. You see, we have been instructed over the years in church, in Christian circles. I know people will sometimes hear what I'm preaching here, and maybe you're sitting right now and say, well, Jesus said, Matthew chapter 22. And as long as you go find that in 1 John, let me read Matthew chapter 22 so that you know that I know it's in the Bible, right? Jesus said, they said to him, teacher, which is the most important commandment in the law of Moses? Very important. Remember, this is in the law of Moses. Jesus replied, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. The second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on these two commandments. But we got to remember, we don't live under the law. Jesus came, we don't live under the law. We don't live in that dispensation of under the law. So under the law, and what was the law given for? What was the law given? The Ten Commandments. The Bible, Paul explains, he says the law was given to be a teacher to show you can't do this. Not that you could do it. The law was given so that you can be convinced that you know I can't do this. Because you're going to try it. Well, that's where I was. I was sitting here. I said, God, I want to love you. I desire to love you. I want to be the one to love you.